As always, email us at creationstation@broward.org for any ideas or things that you want us to highlight on the show. This week, we are lucky to have Devon Holland on. Devon, thank you very much for being here this week with us.
Hey, Bob, happy to see you.
How is life down there?
Life is good. Things are busy, as you know, but yeah, we're doing well down here in the South Cluster of the libraries.
Yeah, I did leave off your job title, didn't you? You are the regional manager for the South Cluster for the whole section of libraries for Broward County. So thank you very much for taking time out of your day to hang out with us and talk for a little bit. We're going to get started right away. I'm going to throw up my Chrome here to share out what's going on. And the first story, we've already had 2 updates on. So everybody knows, we try and pick stories and then we always watch them there. So I sent Devon these stories early this morning, and since then this headline's changed because it is not to launch the Heavenly Harmony space station. It actually launched. They were successful in their launch to go up.
That's
so
cool.
I'm going to show you, we've got a quick video of the launch here to show. It's just everybody. Oh, shush.
You getting an ad?
Well, it redid I showed it once and it showed an ad again. Here's the still picture of the actual launch. Being here in Florida, we all we'll hope everybody's had a chance to see a launch. Maybe from your back. Can you see them from your backyard? Can you see the SpaceX launches?
Yeah, yes, but I remember as a kid on the other coast of Florida, we would go outside and watch them, which was very exciting.
Yeah, I was actually there for the last launch of the space shuttle. We went up to Kennedy to go see it at that time. That was a lot of fun.
That's very
But
neat.
so here's the actual launch. You were living where?
I was gonna say I was living in DC when they retired them, and I remember it was a big deal. We could see the final shuttle flying in to land there because it was going to the Smithsonian. It was
excellent. Cool. Did you get a chance to visit it? I haven't seen it yet.
Yes, I've seen it. Yeah, it's very, very neat.
That's awesome. So the shuttle, the space station, the new Chinese space station is up there and going. I'll play this little bit of video here for you so you can see what it looks like now that it's going up there to be built in. We talked about this a few shows back, where China and Russia have signed an agreement to build a moon base. And now China's going to be the third country in the world to actually have a full space station up there. And we don't know what the Russians are doing. They've announced they're going to pull out of the International Space Station, most likely. So what do you think, Devon? Do you think we actually need to have multiple space stations up there?
You know, that's such a good question, and I definitely don't feel as informed about the broad strokes of this, but you know, idealistically, I like the idea of one international space station that we could all collaboratively, you know, contribute to. But I think realistically, apparently, the politics of things makes that difficult, because when I read this article this morning, that was my question is, oh, why are they not just part of the International Space Station? So I kind of want to look up some more about
China. Yeah, China was offered a spot on it and turned it down.
Oh, turned it down. Okay.
China turned it down 20 years ago. Again, that if in case you think, oh well, you know, we've got this new space station. Everyone going to college now, a freshman in college now, has never lived in a time when people didn't live in space.
It's interesting.
That's how long we've had a space station with astronauts living in space.
That's wild, actually. Yeah.
Isn't it? It's just crazy stuff. But so China's going to build their own up there, and I'm excited about this. And if you've seen a few of our episodes, we've talked a lot about space stuff recently because there's been so many cool things with Mars. And I didn't include the story about the helicopter/drone because I'm still calling it a drone. If it's not a helicopter, if you can't sit in it, it's not a helicopter.
I could see that.
But and they're having their 4th flight tonight or
Neat.
right now. I think we get the video back tonight. It's going on now, and we're going to get the video back tonight or something like that. So lots of
Mhm.
cool stuff happening. But one of the space things that I'm really interested in, that's relevant for us here on Earth, is this week, NASA is in the middle of a huge exercise simulating what an asteroid impact would look like if something hits the United States slash the rest of the world. They're concentrating on the United States this time because they're involving FEMA and a bunch of other people as examples for how that would work and what would be happening there. Did you get a chance to look at this article, Devon, to see?
A bit, yeah, I did glance at this one. It's fascinating. I did not realize that, there would be a whole production to sort of practice for this. But as I read it, I was like, that does seem like a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is
You know?
my government is not evil theme of they give them a bit of time and they can plan and just turn them loose and let them do it.
Yeah, because it's, unfortunately, certainly possibility that that could happen. So you want to think there's a plan involved.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of planning. And so everybody out there who to get an understanding of why this involves this large, huge amount of planning and it takes a week. So this little GIF here that's running. This is from a meteor that hit the Bering Sea back in 2018. And so this meteor, it's a little fireball that goes and, flares across the sky and smashes. This one here happened to hit the ocean and burned out. It had the same amount of 49 kilotons of energy. So I know that sounds like a big number, maybe, but you're not sure what kind of number that is.
True.
So if this thing that happened in 2018, if this were to happen to hit Main Library right now, right where I'm sitting,
Not liking this
down,
scenario, but okay.
yeah, downtown Fort Lauderdale, from 19th Street Causeway south to 595,
Oh,
from the beaches
mhm.
east to 31st is eliminated,
That
as in gone, flattened
that's
like a
yeah.
nuclear blast, flattened out. And then the next 2 to 4 miles in a ring around that, depending upon whether you have hurricane windows or not, you have a 50-50 chance of your windows surviving.
Oh, geez.
If
So
I'm sorry,
that
to be clear, that's if you have hurricane windows. If you don't have hurricane impact windows, you're done.
zero.
Zero chance.
0% chance. Yeah. So that is just a difference of location.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. It does
And
seem
so
like
that's why
simulating.
tracking is really important.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. It's slightly comforting to know that, they're working on that.
Yeah, and this is why these things make news every once in a while. You'll see somebody, oh, there's an asteroid, going to come close to Earth. And close in astronomical terms is a relative thing when it's 10,000 miles away, and that's considered a close call,
Mhm.
because anything that passes inside of the moon's orbit is considered extremely close.
Right.
But yeah, one of these things happens. These are the small ones. These are the things that are just like all over the place. These aren't the big planet killers that took out the dinosaurs and stuff.
Right. So if preparation, what does that mean? They would essentially be coordinating an evacuation of a giant area?
That's the idea.
Okay.
They are trying to figure out through these simulations, and this is going to be the fourth or fifth one they've done. Let me see if I can find that in here.
Yeah, I think you're right. Fourth maybe or something.
7. I apologize.
Mm.
4 different full conferences, and then there's been 3 that were just NASA and FEMA.
Okay.
So 2019 was the last one they did. There was a full conference, and they're doing it again here in 21.
Mm.
So the idea is, can you detect this coming in? When you detect it, how fast can you detect it? How accurate can you detect it? And then if you can figure out where it's going to land, can you evacuate or can you get resources there to fix it afterwards?
Mm.
With the sideline of, oh, and by the way, we have to make sure everybody understands this isn't a nuclear attack. Please don't launch anything.
Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was actually a thing between the Russians and the United States back in the 70s.
Mhm.
They made an agreement for that. So,
Yeah.
yay! I know this is not such a fun thing, but
No,
I just was like, it's a really interesting thing of getting out there and figuring out what they're actually looking for and preparing for. And
and
that's what's
am I
happening this
remembering
week.
correctly? Am I remembering correctly that they're towards the end they're discussing if it's possible to launch something to push it out of the way?
Yeah, that's one of the scenarios they're looking at. And that's part of that detection thing is if you can get your detection grid to
Mhm.
know how far, far enough in advance, it's not quite like Armageddon, the movie, but it's,
Crazy enough.
you can do some, you can come up with some ideas and things. It's actually kind of funny. One of the most realistic ones that happens right now, I'll be real brief on this, is paint. If you can figure out where this thing's coming from and how, if you've got enough time to get a satellite out there that can
Mhm.
just paint the side of the asteroid that's facing the sun, the brighter it gets, the slower it goes, and the more it ablates off and it shrinks the size because it starts heating it up and burning off some of the rock. So it makes it,
Interesting.
yeah, there's been some,
Huh.
it's all a question of like, we need space stations out there to help us detect these things outside of the light pollution and figure out what's going on. So yeah,
Very interesting. Huh.
maybe the more help, the better on this.
Yeah.
And our segue for that for detecting things is do not pay. I'm not
Mm.
sure if anybody else here knows about do not pay. Have you ever heard about do not pay before, Devin?
Was not familiar before this, but it's very interesting. So I was just looking up a couple things about this app. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is your first AI slash robot lawyer kind of thing. They've done things like um, trying to pay for parking tickets or get out fight a parking ticket if you think it's unfair and stuff like that, to go out and do these things, anything that can be done through the legal system essentially. They've did some stuff with this in the UK. They've done some things here all over the United States, so they fully comply with GDPR, and they're out of California under the new California privacy regulations. But their newest thing that they added is making your photos undetectable, which is just so cool. So anybody who's out there who's watching this, you can see this photo here on the left. You upload this into the Do Not Pay website. They send you back a different version of your photo. This version here on the right-hand side. Can you tell the difference between those two, Devin?
I mean, it looks reversed kind of.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just reversed. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you run the one here on the right
Mhm.
through any kind of facial recognition software, or even do a reverse search on Google, if you do a reverse image search on Google, it comes up as a blank. Because there's artifacts that have hidden artifacts that the human eye can't detect, but that the computer, when they're using those AI things,
Mhm.
goes in to make sure that they can't see these things. Now the face is blurred out, so it can't actually detect and run facial recognition on that piece of photo now.
That is really interesting. And your explanation actually helped a bit because so am I understanding correctly that they send you back the altered photo and then you upload the altered version?
Correct.
Okay. So that particular photo that you upload can't be recognized.
Exactly.
But
So if
okay.
you were to put this up in Facebook, for example,
Mhm.
when you upload a photo into Facebook and it's like, here, tag your friends, and oh, look, is this person and this person? Because they're using all that facial recognition. If you
Right.
used this, they wouldn't be able to tell who you were.
So there's no way to go back. Anything that's out there is out there, but moving
Correct.
forward, theoretically. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you could always, in theory, delete, but we all know the internet never forgets.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's very interesting. It's yeah, it's really, really interesting. Moving forward, you know. But this is a subscription service, of course, right? You have to pay
Yes.
for this
Yep.
app. Okay. Yeah, I know. I wonder, yeah, it's interesting. Because I was looking at the app a little bit, and when you click on some of the terms and conditions, it's clear that it's not illegal.
Yeah.
It's not a lawyer, that kind of stuff. So it's hard to know. I mean, it's a question I ask all the time on the internet is which thing do you decide to trust? Because you could use this thinking you're protecting yourself, but how much do I trust the source of what's controlling this? It's like
Yeah.
yeah, you go round and round if you let yourself. But it's
Yeah,
very
it's
interesting, the capability is
yeah, and you're right. I mean, the whole is privacy dead or not? And did we give it all up now during the pandemic because it's just a disaster?
Mhm.
And we all willingly handed over all of our information to CVS or Publix or whoever we went and got a vaccine from, and we all handed away, work from home, and now you've got a work laptop at home, and what are they
Mhm.
tracking for how much you're doing? And yeah.
That is a larger topic, but it's very
Yeah,
interesting
we
and
don't cover that in a 20-minute show. Sorry.
okay, no, that's fine. But it's worth thinking about. It's a little bit
Yeah.
freaky. Yeah.
We did a show with AI and ethics a couple of weeks ago. You can go find that out on the library Facebook page, or if you go into some of our stuff, or again, email me, creationstation@broward.org, and I can send you a direct link to those programs to make sure that you have access to them. And we spent a whole hour just talking about ethics in AI and how moving forward to make things happen like that.
Yeah,
So
that's important. That's interesting.
yeah, some really, it's some fun low level low level complications, I guess, where you don't have to understand everything of how it works. You just need to know why it works, and then we had a good talk about what and why it is. So,
Mm, okay, I'll check it out.
what do you guys have going on down there in the South Cluster? Tell us about what's a cool library thing you got going on down there.
Well, lots of things happening, but a couple, I guess, virtual programs I would just highlight that are coming up in May. Of course, it's Asian American Heritage Month, so we have 6 different programs happening virtually. You can find them on our website. We're starting a new English for Families program. So families
That starts Tuesday.
Yep, children between the ages of 6 and 12. It happens twice a week for 5 weeks. I think that's going to be really neat. And then
Yeah.
also we're starting a new SAT prep session. So 8 sessions, everything free, of course, to get your teen ready to take the SAT. All of this can be done in pajamas in their bedroom, virtually, broward.org/library.
Pair of shorts,
There's
glass of wine. It's a great thing.
not for the teens, but
Not for
whatever.
the teens. We're keeping the teens away. But there's
For
a
others,
lot of
yeah.
the Asian heritage stuff, yeah, and that English for Families. I'm involved in the background of making sure that it all happens. So that's going to be a really fun.
It's going to be a
The
neat show.
teacher's really nice. She's been really
Yeah,
fun to work
yeah.
with. So
Good. Yeah, I'm excited about those. So yeah, that's just a couple highlights.
and as always, all of our events, broward.org/library/events, and you can search there for by date, by topic, by anything that you want to do to see whatever things are happening here at your library. And all around. Oh, we got a couple of people in our audience here from Montreal actually right now. So yeah, I'm kind of used to having everybody around the world now hang out for our library events, which is really a nice thing. And
That's great.
so yeah, it's been a lot of fun to be able to do these online stories and all this kind of stuff nowadays. And we're going to keep working that virtual component in as we move forward, I hope.
I think
Well,
so.
again, thank you so much, Miss Devon, for being here with us today. It was
My
always
pleasure.
fun having you.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Let's throw up our ending here. And so, again, everybody, reach out to us, creationstation@broward.org. If you have any story ideas, or if you've got a favorite librarian or library that you want to see focused on another show, just let us know. Everybody, have a great week and stay safe.